All right, today we're going to be talking about adding and subtracting complex numbers. And what you basically need to remember is that complex numbers have a real part and imaginary part. The real part is notated by A, the imaginary part is notated by BI. So when adding or subtracting complex numbers, do the following. Basically, you just add like terms. So you're going to add or subtract the real parts, add or subtract the imaginary parts, and make sure you write it in this form. So I've already done the first one here. It says simplify, write your answer in the form of A plus BI. So 7i minus 6i, notice they're like terms. So I would just say 7 minus 6 is 1. So 7i minus 6i is just leaves us with 1i, or you could write it as 0 plus I if we're doing it in this form. Let's move on to number 2. We have 2i minus 10i, which is negative 8i, plus 1i is negative 7i. Or again, you could write it as 0 minus 7i. Let's move on. We're again simplifying and writing our answer in the form of A plus BI. So this time I've got two sets of parentheses, but we're just still combining like terms. So 3 plus 5 is 8. 6i minus 10i is negative 4i. This is already in the A plus BI form, so we're just going to leave it. Next, we have write your answer in the form of A plus BI. We're simplifying. So this time our like terms are simply numbers. So we've got negative 7 plus negative 10. That gives us negative 17. And there's nothing else that we can combine with this negative 2i. So we're just going to write negative 17 minus 2i. And finally, we have our last problem that I'm going to do with you, and then you're going to go ahead and complete the your turn. So we've got negative, and notice how this two terms are grouped. So that means I basically have to distribute the negative to everything inside this set of parentheses. It's like multiplying by negative 1. I'm going to do the same thing to the second set of parentheses and the same thing to the third set of parentheses. So negative 1 multiplied by negative 7 is positive 7. Negative 1 multiplied by negative 5i is positive 5i. We're done with those parentheses. Then we move on. Negative 1 multiplied by positive 20i is negative 20i. Negative 1 multiplied by positive 6 is negative 6. Move on. Negative 1 multiplied by negative 6 is positive 6. Negative 1 multiplied by positive 12i is negative 12i. And now we're just going to combine our like terms. So let's go ahead and deal with the real part first. So 7 minus 6 is 1, plus 6 is 7, right? And then we're going to deal with our imaginary terms. So 5i minus 20i is negative 15i, minus 12i is negative 27i. So that's what you're going to be doing in, actually it's the assignment that you have, which is in IXL. You'll be completing this. Go ahead, do the your turn, and come back and see what your answer should be. All right, so take a look at the answers in the your turn. Yours should look like this. If you have any questions that you need to ask, please don't hesitate to do so. I'll see you on the next video.